Welcome. Today we're going to work through a few grounding movements, a little bit of maintenance, and a little bit of rooting self-care. Find your way into a seated or kneeling position, finding length in our spine, finding a nice neutral, neck is loose, rooting here. And we're going to begin by inviting a little subtle movement in our neck, taking our gaze from forward to up and sideways. And then go back neutral. And we're going to find this on the opposite, going from neutral to up and to our left. And you're going to feel the work on the back right. Go back to neutral. We're going to do this a couple more times at our own pace. And really just feeling the subtleties of the back of our neck. What we're doing is countering that forward head movement that we often have, looking down at our screens or hunching over at a desk. One more time. And come back to neutral. Neck is long, no tension. And breathe. And we're going to make our way to a tabletop position. Hands about under those shoulders, knees about hip width, finding our neutral. And as you're ready, we're going to push firmly into the mat with our hands and our knees, allowing that Halloween kitty cat to appear. Neck is down. Inhale and find that cow position, rotating that sternum through your arms. Hands and knees are still rooted. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And a couple more. And when you're ready, we're going to bring our hips back to be seated, kneeling position. Neck is loose. We're going to take our left and go up, opening up those obliques. The goal is not to crunch the side, but rather to open. Inhale, center. Let the left descend. Right is tall. And again, inviting those obliques and those side ribs to open up. Couple more times. Finding that extension and that space. And when you're ready, let those hands meet the earth. We're going to make our way forward into some cobra practice, allowing our front body to meet the mat. And from here, you may be rooted as you tune into the body, these subtle movements. We're going to rise that head and neck and sternum up off the mat. The movements don't need to be extreme. And exhale and rest. And again, that slow peel off the mat, lifting that heart. And rest. And again. Hands shouldn't be bearing the weight here. And rest. And allow yourself to root on your knees and bring it back into child's pose. Third eye docks onto the mat. You may rock side to side if you wish. And from here, we're going to take our right hand and bring it back by our feet and do the same with our left. And this changes our upper body in child's pose, really allowing those shoulders to melt forward with gravity and those scapula to open up. And as you feel ready to return, we're going to bring our arms forward once more, shifting our weight into our palms and forward, back into that cobra. And rest. This time we're going to invite the lower body to work with the upper body if it feels comfortable. And as we rise the front, we're going to invite those toes. Hands may be rooted, hands may be floating, wherever you feel. And rest, allowing the body to root. And when you feel ready for another round, inhale off the mat. All of our posterior body is doing work here. And feel how the breath moves the body. And when you're ready, rest. And don't forget to breathe. And again, inhale off the mat. Body is strong. Arms may go back if you wish. And when you're ready, rest. We're going to invite some subtle movements into the legs. I'm going to plant my elbow below my shoulder and take my right hand to my right foot. Stop anywhere you need, but as long as it's comfortable, we're going to bring that foot down and invite a nice hammy stretch, quad stretch. And breathe here. Elbow is strong into the mat. Extended leg is strong into the mat. And when you're ready to find release, extend the right, allowing our right elbow to replace the left. And we're going to take our left hand to our left foot, and finding that comfort and allowing that extension to happen in our quad. And when you're ready, find release. And we're going to plant our hands and knees and shift back into child's pose, finding support in our lower spine. Forehead meets the earth with the docking of that third eye. And we're going to find some spinal waves from here. Moving forward, hips up, and landing into cobra. Melt into the earth. Rest. And when you're ready, we're going to move it back, planting our knees and hands, hips back, pushing strongly. Back into child's pose. Forehead meets the earth. And again, rooting the hands, rocking it forward. Cobra. Allow yourself to fully root. And again, we're going to take it back. Rooting in the knees, pushing in the palms, hips back strongly. Child's pose. You may rock the head if that feels good. Or you may find stillness if that's preferred. And again, rocking it forward into cobra. melt into the earth. Once again, we're going to find a little open heart, this time in the support of Sphinx. We're going to allow our elbows, both of them, to go under our shoulders, and this is going to prop that sternum forward. And breathe here for a moment, keeping the upper body strong, keeping the legs rooted, feeling the breath in the body. And we're going to go back into a frog stretch here. I'm going to start on my right, letting my right hand meet my right foot, still keeping it comfortable in the body, bringing that foot down. And this time I'm going to play with a bit of pull into half bow. The goal is not to find that deep bend, but rather to feel the synchronicity in the body. So as I rise, I'm also going to simultaneously pull with my leg, assisting a bit of that open, feeling how the body works together, and allowing that leg to rest, and see how the top body descends back into a little frog. And again, we're going to pulse that up just a bit into a half bow, feeling that lower spine, glutes are strong, and descend back into our frog. And one more time, we're going to rise into that half bow. Breathe here if you can. Rest when you need. And as you find descent, we're going to allow full rest. Head into the mat. Neck is loose. Body is rooted. And again, we're going to make our way into Sphinx pose, allowing both elbows to place us in an upright position from under our shoulders. Breathing here. And after a couple breaths, we're going to make our way into that frog bind again. Left hand to left foot, keeping it friendly in my body. Really feeling that quad stretch. And we're going to repeat the sequence on our left, again working for that synchronic movement. As we rise, allowing that leg to pull and really feel how the body works together to achieve the half bow and descend back into our frog. And when you're ready, we're going to do it twice more, feeling the pull and breathing before we rest into the mat. And one more time. And this time we're going to hold for a second. Descending when you need. Legs are strong. Sternum is forward. Keeping my gaze up helps me to stay risen. We tend to go with our gaze, and as I descend, I take it down to meet the mat. And let's go into our crocodile pose. Forehead is down, hands are down, anterior body is rooted. And breathe here. I really love the inner quality of this pose. It took me a few years to understand and appreciate it. This is crocodile. This is another form of rest. And as you feel ready, we're going to plant those knees, push with those hands, and bring those hips back into our tabletop. Adjust if you need. Sometimes we scoot a bit on the mat. We want to keep our hands below our shoulders, knees about hip width. Finding that neutral in our spine, strong push with the anterior. Strong push with the hands. And breathe. And we're going to take our left and thread it underneath our right, allowing our shoulder to come down and meet the earth. Hand may be rooted, or if you wish, you may take it to the sky, and as you're up here, push as though you're pushing against someone's high five. Inviting that twist to deepen. And when you're ready, we're going to plant that right back on the earth. Push and take that left to the sky. And root. Maybe you want to wiggle it out, cat-cow it out. Give your body what it needs before we repeat on the opposite side. Taking our right upward, threading it under the left, right shoulder meets the mat. And again, if you wish, that left can go towards the sky, pushing like you're pushing on someone's hand. And when you're ready to return, left goes to the mat, pushing as we rise, right to the sky. Plant your hand, wiggle it out, whatever you need, and hips back. Child's pose. And let's bring those hands back to the feet and allow those shoulders to really melt into the earth. Head may rock from side to side as we dock into the earth. And really feel that space. Our third eye center is our place of intuition, however you choose to call the space. That is a space of our inner wisdom and guide. Root here and root here often. This is our inner space. And as you feel ready, we're going to roll it back forward into Cobra, bringing those hands forward, finding that space as we melt down. And this time we're going to play a bit more in bow pose. And again, the goal is not to find that deep bend, but rather to tune in to that synchronicity with the body. So we're going to find both hands to our feet simultaneously. And we're going to begin with our forehead down on the mat, just feeling the stretch of those quads, the rooting of our mat, and the breath, and how the inhale and exhale changes the space and how we interact with it connectively. And we're going to play a bit, rising that sternum. And as we rise our sternum, we want to invite those legs to gently pull. And maybe you stop here. Maybe you use a strap, that would work just fine. Or maybe you want to go a little deeper, breathing and finding that pull. And notice how the inhale and the exhale rock the bow. And rest when you need. We're doing a lot of work in this little posture. And again, rising the sternum off the mat, playing with that pull. Maybe this time you allow yourself to pull a bit more. And really breathing. And finding that space. And rest. And again, one more time. We're going to play with that pull. And maybe you find more pull on a nice deep inhale. And you rise up to those quads. Or maybe you just remain in our little teardrop Dhanurasana. And when you're ready to rest, descend. Root the forehead and extend the legs. And take a couple breaths in crocodile before we root in the knees. Bringing those hips back into child's pose and supporting that lower back that we just asked so much of. And breathing here in a supported position. And when you're ready to return, we're going to place our hand or tabletop and bring it forward. Maybe we adjust our knees. And a couple of cat-cows here. I tend to begin with cat, finding that push. Neck is loose. And into cow. And we're going to bring it back into a seated position. Finding a neutral here. Arms are going to go long, finding length. And we're going to play with a bit of cactus arms simultaneously with a bit of a twist. So I'm going to open to my right, finding a little bend and a little pull. Inhale, center. Exhale, opposite side. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. And again. Inhale, center, and allow the hands to rest. Neck is loose. And be here for a moment and observe what the body needs. We're going to make our way to a laying position. And then from here, finding length in our legs, I'm going to bring my knee to my chest, beginning with my right. Extended leg is strong. No breath holding. Just breathing here. And if you feel like you'd like a bit more, we can take that knee and cross it over our body. And I'm going to allow my opposite elbow to root and my gaze to go opposite of my leg. And take a couple breaths here. And when you're ready, inhale through neutral. And again, left knee to our chest. Right leg is strong. Taking a few breaths here before we invite our twist. And if you're ready and feeling it, we're going to take that left knee and cross it over our right body. My left elbow is rooting while my gaze goes opposite of my leg. I'm going to take a few breaths here in this twist. And when you're ready, inhale back into our neutral. Now we're going to bring both knees up, allowing those arms to lock into almost a fetal position. And if you feel up for it, we're going to invite a little side to side movement, massaging the back of our low spine, activating our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite of our fight or flight. It's where we want to be. And it doesn't have to be extreme, just subtle, supportive movements. Feeling that massage on the low spine. And for our final posture, we're going to make our way into Shavasana. But we're not just going to plop into it. First, we're going to take our legs and really extend them out, creating that space in our lower back. Finding the length in those femurs. We're going to take our head and lift it off and really also extend it from the crown. Our upper arms, instead of plopping them right beside our body like we do in a crowded class, we're going to reach up. Scapula off the mat, up like you're making air muffins like a kitten. And after a couple of cycles, allow gravity to invite your elbows down wherever they land and your hands down from there. Notice your hand stance is probably much wider than we normally would consciously set it down. And just give yourself that space to be here. Welcome to Shavasana, our final resting pose. For those of us with a ponytail, you might find that you just want to take it out so that you don't have anything in your way. That way we can find that neutral spine. Our mind can be very busy and it can be very hard to come to a quiet place or a place of rest. But this human homunculus I'm about to do is one of my favorite ways to take control of my thoughts and bring myself into my body. So let's move together. Become aware of your left hand, left fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Left forearm, upper arm. Become aware of your left shoulder, your left chest, your left hip, your quad. Become aware of your left knee, your left shin, and your left foot, toes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Become aware of your right hand, your right fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right forearm, right upper arm. Become aware of your right shoulder, your right chest, your right hip, quad. Become aware of your right knee, right shin, your right foot, and your toes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Become aware of the top of your body. Feel it light. Become aware of the back of your body. Feel it heavy, rooted, supported. Become aware of the body as a whole. Your breath as you breathe in and out. Tune in to the rise and the fall of the chest as you breathe. And if your mind is wandering, come back to the breath, the inhale and the exhale. And as you feel ready to return, maybe we invite some movement into our fingers and toes, or maybe we invite some subtle rocking side to side in our head. And as you feel ready, we're going to roll over to our side and support ourselves in rising to a seated position. Thank yourself for showing up today. Namaste.